Just because God gave it to you does not mean you're meant to carry it by yourself. And this is something that I struggle with because I try to do everything all by myself because I'm a big girl. But one thing that he's teaching me lately is that when he expands your territory, you're going to have to bring more people into that. And I think about the story of Moses. When Moses had already led all of the Israelites out of Egypt, and they're all in the wilderness, and Moses is trying to judge every single person's dispute that they have while they're in the wilderness. If somebody's fighting, they're bringing it straight to Moses, and he's having to play referee with all however many hundreds of thousands of these people. That is until one day when his father-in-law Jethro visits, and Jethro says, Moses, you got to delegate some of this. He basically tells Moses, if you don't delegate some of this out, you are going to burn out. And Moses' response is basically, yeah, because if I delegate this, it gives me more time to teach my people about God. And part of growing in God is learning that and learning how to delegate the things, learning how to ask for help, learning how to live in community. Because a lot of us, when we're going through the refining season, we're isolated, we're by ourselves, and then when our territory starts expanding, then we're like, oh shoot, what do we do? Because we're not used to being around people. But this is also why it's important to remember that with every stage of elevation, there's something new to learn. You never get to a point where you have it all figured out. There is always going to be a new challenge, a new goal, a new directive, a new something to learn. But that shouldn't discourage you. That should let you know that if you don't have it all figured out, you're actually doing it right, because you're continuing to learn as you go. If you've got it all figured out, that's a sign that you're probably not growing very much, because you're not supposed to stay stuck in a place where you've got it all figured out. So don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to delegate things. Don't be afraid to find that community. In this book, I have a whole chapter on peace. And in that chapter is a subsection all about peace with others. Like what it's like to live in community in a way that you don't feel like you're about to rip people's hair out. It talks about healthy boundaries. It talks about how to see things from other people's perspectives, how to have grace for people, how to have grace for yourself. So if that's something that you struggle with, I would encourage that you check this book out. And that's just one section of one chapter. So imagine what else is in here. You can go read the reviews to check it out. I also wrote a journal that goes with it called Go Ask God the Journal. It's got 120 question prompts where you ask God these questions, journal his answers down below, and it helps you practice hearing his voice. If you're interested in either of these, you can check them out on TikTok Shop, on Amazon, or at yourfriendcaitlin.com. But I will let you know that I'm only going to be signing the copies I have on TikTok Shop until the end of the year. There's just so many orders coming in that I can't possibly sign them all. So I do want people to have signed copies if they want that for Christmas. But then after that, the only signed copies will be on my website. So feel free to check them out, invest in yourself, take the time to grow deeper in your relationship with God.